When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got troubles, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown. Just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? Are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure. Downtown. Everyone's waiting for you. Everyone's waiting for you.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Downtown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my movie review for Last Night in Soho. Soho? Yeah, Soho. That's how I was saying it, at least. I got to watch this earlier today. I got home pretty late from watching it, but I was able to watch it. And boy, do I love this film. First off, as recently I have done a Doctor Who The Day of the Doctor review with the main actor being Matt Smith. Matt Smith is also in this movie. Now be aware, it is a vastly different character and vastly different movie. This is horror. Now I feel like Doctor Who in some ways is horror, but it's like a PG horror done extremely well. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But Matt Smith plays a character in this film. He plays Jack. And I'm not going to get into spoilers because I don't really want to. Sorry. I want you guys to go into the movie experiencing it for yourself and judging for itself. As long as it doesn't get blocked, I put one trailer at the beginning, which that trailer is a lot more vague on what the movie is. The trailer at the end will show you the story more aspect of the movie. Now be aware, if you don't want to see too much, or if you want to see the trailers but they don't show up before and after this section of the review, just be aware that it could have gotten blocked worldwide, or in the future I decide I don't want the trailers on these, so I just edit them out, which is possible on YouTube. So the links will always be down below, and there should be cards in the video with links to the trailers, hopefully at some point. I typically do them while the trailers play, but if there's no trailers, then I'll put them somewhere else. Hopefully I remember to do that if I ever remove them. Anyway, that out of the way. The cast for this movie is pretty darn good. Anna Taylor-Joy, I believe it is. It's Anna Taylor-Joy, right? Coming soon. Here, I'll make my way there without using my keyboard because I don't want to. I'm making my way there. Okay, Last Night in Soho. So it stars Thomasin McKenzie, Anna Taylor-Joy, and Matt Smith are the three big title people in this movie. Thomasin McKenzie, I believe is how you say that. She, I believe, played in a recent movie by M. Night Shyamalan, which hopefully I'll do a review for, called Old, which is a great movie. I absolutely loved it. She also was in Jojo Rabbit, another fantastic movie that I have not done a review for, but is a great movie nonetheless. And Matt Smith, obviously, has been in a couple of things, most well known as the Doctor from Doctor Who. As well, he will be in Morbius, which is going to be kind of exciting. A Marvel movie with Matt Smith is pretty neat. You also have Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is a movie I was interested in but never watched. Terminator Genesis. And most of the other stuff is TV. Doctor Who things, mostly. A lot of it is actually Doctor Who. A bunch of different Doctor Who related things. That's mostly where he got his start, was Doctor Who. So yeah. There's the cast. I think it's a great cast. I love all three main title actors and actresses. They did a fantastic job in the film. And it's great. I love them. This movie is really a mystery movie. The first trailer didn't show too much, but there's kind of like a murder mystery going on. And there are twists and turns, and some people may not see the ending coming, and some people like me may have seen it coming from a mile away, or 10 minutes before. Which is, I'd still say pretty good, you know. But it's great. The 60s era of the movie, which they do this fantastic thing. She can see kind of back into the past, so, in her dreams, but she's a person in the past too. So what happens is, through mirrors, she will see sometimes the other girl, which is Anna Taylor-Joy, or she'll be in the mirror and we'll see Anna Taylor-Joy like walking by, and she's like Anna Taylor-Joy's reflection. And they really do a really cool job. There's this dance sequence where they're dancing with Matt Smith, and when they go off screen or disappear for a second, they switch to the other person, back and forth, and it's great. It's really, really, really well done, and I absolutely love it. It was fantastic to watch. The sets, pretty stunning for me. The music, great. The atmosphere, great. I have very little issues with this movie. There are some characters I hate. Some choices I hate, obviously. But what's your horror movie without stupid choices? You know? Or I've seen enough movies where I can be like, yeah, this doesn't add up. Or this isn't going to happen. Or this just feels like it's going to happen because of this reason. I'm being very vague on purpose for probably pretty obvious reasons. But what's really cool and really neat is how they play out the story. If you watch the end of that trailer, there's weird hands that come out of the ground and out of some walls and such. And that's actually pretty relevant to the story. What are those hands? Whose are those hands? You know, I can't say too much, but I really liked what they did there. There's some debate between the people that I watched it with. We were talking about, like, what are those? What are they technically? I know that's not very specific, but I'm trying not to be specific. When you watch a movie of this caliber, personally, I feel it's best to go in with as little information as possible. you don't want the mystery to be spoiled. You don't want to be like, oh, this is who did it, or this is how I can figure out who did it in the movie. You want to, it's not really a whodunit, but you want to be able to piece the pieces together. That's the fun part. That's what Knives Out, why that was so fun. Piecing together who it is, finding out who it is, and choosing your culprit, you know. And the movie kind of directs you. If you watch the second trailer, if you watch the movie, keep the trailer in mind. The movie tries to direct you one path. And that path could be the correct path. Or it could not be, as it should be. But I think in movies, and what sometimes... Sorry, I'm ripping something. Haha. For me, in movies, I found out that trailers can be misleading sometimes. Whether on purpose or by accident. The Village's trailer, by M. Night Shyamalan as well, was in fact a very misleading trailer. That movie is not really a monster flick. It was more of a love story. And it was advertised as a monster flick. And basically all the teens and their crushes went out and had a movie night out for The Village, and it turned out that The Village was a love story. And people weren't happy, and that's just because it was mismarketed. Movies can do that a lot. I don't think this movie mismarkets anything. My problem with the movie is mainly one thing, and that is the main character. They're very unspecific on what her ability is. They specify that it's a gift at the beginning of the film, and they never really touch on exactly how it works. She says, I can feel emotions, but that brings up questions later in the film for me. That brings up questions on, you know, what some things qualify as. Because when I'm into a movie, I go kind of deep into the lore of the movie. I try to work out some details that aren't specifically said. And of course, they don't want to make everything specifically said, but when it's focused around the main character and her abilities, I feel like it should be more self-evident. Now, again, everything was great. They had some very cool sequences. There are jump scares in this movie. There is also a flashing lights section of this film. Just be aware going into it. There are flashing lights. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having flashing lights in film, but when you do it, you need to make sure that you put out a warning. And that's something that, despite what anyone says about Candyman, that's something Candyman did really well. When I went to the theater, there was a sign warning about flashing light. The company sent out something for people to print out and put out to inform people that Candyman had some flashing lights. Candyman's flashing lights were only police sirens. This is a little bit more severe flashing lights, but I still think it's really neat. It helps. I mean, it's a little detail, but it does help. I mean, sure, it probably backs the company up so they don't have to worry about much. Because if they say they put out a warning, and if the theater doesn't put it out, then the theater is at fault, not them. And they don't have to worry about it. But it's also nice, because warning people about that stuff, I mean, depending. You know, epilepsy, I think it's epilepsy, and stuff like that, it can be triggered in different ways. You know, if you watch a movie in a super big theater with flashing lights, that might be different than watching it in a tiny theater with the lights less dimmed. Because in a tiny theater, or maybe that's even worse, maybe in a bigger theater with more room, you know, then maybe it's not as bad. Or if the lights are up, maybe it's not as bad. I don't know. Again, I haven't dealt with that. But it's nice to see companies do that. I wish more companies would do that. Give out warnings. It doesn't take too much, and it helps those people who have possibilities of that. I mean, you putting it in your movie, you should warn the people watching. They're paying to watch a movie. You know, I don't think it's a lot to ask. Sorry, a little bit of sidetrack there, but there are flashing lights at one part, and it was a cool sequence, because and there's another scene where they, are using, I think, the beat of a song, and on a beat, the light flickers and then comes back, and Anna Taylor-Joy's clothes have changed. Flickers, comes back, her clothes have changed. Flickers, comes back, her clothes have changed. There's a reason her clothes are changing, obviously, but I won't say. But it's really neat. It's a very creative movie in finding out ways to complete sequences and to complete the story in a more unique, less traditional horror movie. And it's more of a horror thriller. And that might deter some people, but if you like thrillers, you like horror, check it out. It's a great film. I really enjoy it. And again, Matt Smith was the highlight for me. I love Anna Taylor-Joy, and I love the other girl who played in, I can't remember her full name, Mackenzie, I think was her last name, in Jojo Rabbit and in Old. They're both fantastic, and the concept of the mirror aspect of this movie is amazing. It wowed me when I watched it. I was grinning from ear to ear. Now, to be fair, I am very happy watching a lot of movies, but it's impressive. I mean, to edit a sequence like that, I don't understand. Again, I'm not like a top tier editor, and there have been a lot of cool and creative edits in the past and in the future. I'm sure there will be more, but it's great. It's impressive when it can do that. And this isn't like a super gigantic movie either, but it's really cool to watch, and it's really cool to feel like you're a part of that universe in the theater. You know, when a movie doesn't immerse me, Quiet Place Part 2, I end up losing interest. And sometimes I do pick out, and unintentionally, but I pick out things that are wrong with the film. Different, like, if it has a sequel, things that don't make sense. And I mean, that's something I picked out of this film, was the whole power aspect. It didn't make sense. But if a movie is well made, you can look past those mistakes, you know? Or if it engrosses you enough, you may not even see them. And that's okay. I mean, mistakes are bound... Sorry, I yawned. Mistakes are bound to happen. So roll with the punches, if you will. And I know I have kind of been talking a lot about kind of offside things and not directly about the movie, but that's what this movie kind of is. It's a mystery. It's something you want to work out. It's something you want to try to pay attention to, and it's something that, for me, was insanely enjoyable, you know? And I remember being immersed. I don't know how else to say it to you. I was immersed. I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. It was cool. It was creative. It was enjoyable. The acting was on par. It was great. Top tier, I would say. And I kind of like indie movies more than big budget ones. I mean, sometimes you get a good big budget horror movie that does it right, but I mean, you look at Avengers Endgame. 10 years in the making, it's a good movie, but sometimes how big a movie is kind of boggles it down, you know? So having a one-off movie, which I'm assuming they're not going to do another one, it was great. It engrosses you with a good cast, a strong cast, and Matt Smith isn't in a lot, so it's great to see him starting to get big title movies that go to, America, because he's a great actor. And I love to see him in more stuff, and Anna Taylor-Joy has been hitting it off for several years now. She started in some small things and then kept on working her way up. And it's great. She did a fantastic job, you know? I think she was in Split. I think. Was she in Split? I'm pretty sure Anya Taylor-Joy was in Split. She was in The New Mutants, for sure. She was in The Witch, Queen's Gambit. Oh, she's going to be in an illuminating entertainment film? Princess Peach. Okay. Well, that's not really... It's untitled. It's a Mario movie. New Mutants, she was in Emma. Emma was a really good movie. Playmobil, the movie. Ooh. Glass, I really like Glass. Don't click Glass. Why did I click Glass? Go back. Split, yeah, she was in Split. Morgan, The Witch. So Split would have been the first one I saw her in. Ever since then, I fell in love with her as an actress. She does a fantastic job at what she does. She's really good. And I really can't wait to see what she's in next. I mean, all of these. They don't have a lot on their future things, but I'm excited. And frankly, I hope you guys will give this a shot if you like it. You know, if you like the concepts, you like the trailers, give it a shot. I can only do so much talking, and frankly, I'm not the best at it. And I'm sure people have noticed through my movie reviews that I'm not the best at doing this kind of thing. But I want to. My love of movies doesn't come as much as a critical viewpoint as it is a spectacle viewpoint. And sometimes just a simple common sense viewpoint. I followed this movie pretty darn well. And it had some very cool sequences, some very well shot, some fun sequences, some dark sequences, some creepy sequences. It's an all-around fun, thrilling horror movie. It's great. And it's perfect for this month. I know that I've been releasing a couple of game series this month of 2021. That's when this review's coming out. I'm not going to be specific so that this can just survive the pass of time when it comes to the video and I don't have to edit anything out. But it was already... the series won't end on time anyway, and I kind of ran out of time today anyway. So I wanted to put something out for you guys. And I remember loving this movie that I watched earlier today. And I was like, you know what? Let me go for it, man. So if you're wondering why some of the October series won't finish completely in October, it's because I put some other videos out earlier in the month that kind of caused everything to get pushed back some. But that's just because of the videos that I'm putting out take more time to edit. The ones I've been putting out, I've been doing more... montages to get content through instead of just keeping it as long as I recorded it, because I think part 3 of one of the series was like over an hour long, and I got it down to like 30 minutes, I think, somewhere around there. So I cut it down significantly, and some of that's cut out, some of that is just kind of edited down to like a fast pace, montage type thing. Anyway, that's just why. But I give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars and 9 out of 10. Just 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Whatever. 9 out of 10 handshakes. But for, 5.5 stars? Why did I say 5.5 stars? 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. Sorry. 4.5 stars out of 5 and 9 out of 10 anything. Yeah, whatever that is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully the trailers won't get edited out in the end, hopefully. But I hope you enjoyed, and I appreciate you guys sticking through to this point. I don't say this a lot, but if you'd like to subscribe, do so. It's free. It doesn't take anything but a button press. And if you like this and you'd like to see more, or if you have anything you would like to comment gently and critically, like commenting on how I do movie reviews that you think would make it better, feel free. I don't have a webcam. That's why there's no webcam. And it's a lot faster to do this anyway, this way. But feel free to let me know in the comments if you'd like. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
So what brings you down then?
I'm studying London College of Fashion.
room is on the top floor.
It's perfect. I love it. If I could live any place and any time, I'd live here. In London. In the 60s. Last night, I saw something in my dreams. There was a girl.
And you are?
Sandy.
I got this kind of gift. I can see people, places, things others can't.
This is the closest most people ever get to their dreams.
They're not just dreams.
Jack, I don't want to do this.
You think you can just walk away?
They really happened.
What did you see?
Do you believe in ghosts? I want to report a murder.
You witnessed the murder last night, but you believe this was a vision from the past.
The guy that killed her is still out there. I have to stop him.
Where are you going?
I know what you did.
I've done a lot of things. You're gonna have to be more specific, love.
You can't save me.